Today on The Dish, we are dedicating our show to raising awareness for breast cancer. University Breast Health Center and Foundation are both here to relay important information. We also highlight how to join the fight by taking part in the Miracle Mile. Joining us again is Heather DeChico from New Life Natural Foods. She'll whip up a very tasty yet health-conscious meal that life coach Gail Pendergrass will break down. Now, from Television Park in the Electrolux and Frost and Heating Kitchen, The Dish, with your host, Anna Christina.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to The Dish. I'm your host, Anna Christina. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, last month we dedicated a show to ovarian cancer awareness. Now, this month it is October, so it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we're dedicating this to raising awareness for breast cancer. Audience, what do you think? Good? Now we have so many special guests that are here to inform us, give us some information, and those being Deborah Steele. She's an RN from University Breast Health Center. Also joining us is Kathleen Bailey. She is the director of the University Healthcare Foundation. And Gail Pendergrass, she's here. She's a life and health coach. They're going to be talking to us about breast cancer and filling us in on ways we can look for, maybe some signs and symptoms, and hopefully preventing us from having a story. And of course, it is a cooking show, so we brought on Miss Heather DeChico. She's from New Life Natural Foods. She's going to be putting together an amazing meal. So please help me welcome Miss Heather DeChico. How are you? Good to see you again. Now, you're back. Last month, we did ovarian cancer awareness meal. I'd like to say a cancer fighter meal, right? Right. And so this month, it's breast cancer awareness month. So we're putting together a new dish, right?
Definitely.
Okay. So
and this one came to my mind within seconds of whenever you called me, because this is definitely my go-to at home. My husband loves it, my children love it, and I know how good it is, and also helps to prevent cancer.
Okay.
Absolutely. What we're going to be making today is wild Alaskan salmon. Okay. With a marinade of Peri-Peri, some turmeric, which is a really good spice for cancer prevention. It's anti-inflammatory and it helps your body fight off the bad guys. And we're going to top it with some shiitake mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms are one of the best when it comes to fighting cancer. Mushrooms are really good, but shiitake and maitake stand out at having the most of those compounds and properties that help our bodies to prevent cancer.
Wow, okay.
And something that I learned from reading Dr. Pendergrass' book is the positive compounds in mushrooms are only released when you cook them. Okay. So you actually need to consume cooked mushrooms rather than raw if you're looking for these benefits. Okay. So that's kind of a nice tip.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either, not until I read his book. Okay. So this is super simple to make. What we have here is a fillet of wild-caught Alaskan salmon. You want to make sure.
Yummy.
Yeah. You want to make sure that all your fish is wild-caught, not farm-raised. And what we're going to do is top it with some Peri-Peri. This is made up of veganese and DeChico's Peri-Peri marinade.
Okay. This is something that we also used last time, right?
Yes, this is it's just good on everything. Absolutely. And the reason we're doing this, it not only adds flavor, but when we bake this salmon, which we're going to do, the oil from the veganese is going to go down into the salmon, creating the most moist, tender, kind of no-fail salmon. Okay. Like, this pretty much works every time. Absolutely.
So we're gonna, because I'm getting married, or I am married actually. Hello.
Seems like yesterday, doesn't it?
I know, right? Hello. This is a good trick for me too, right?
Absolutely. Another little trick that I like to do whenever you bake any fish is use whatever type of vegetable you like, or something, you know, shaped like this that can be used as a riser. Okay. So in your casserole dish, put down, I love red onions, also very good color, very anti-cancer fighting properties in there.
So really it's a riser, but the flavor from it is also being put in.
You could even put a little water down, put some spices in it if you want, but what it's going to do is elevate the fish or the meat off the bottom so the air can circulate under it, and it kind of, you know, little convection action.
There you go. Some tricks, right?
Kind of neat. Turmeric, like I said, is go-to spice in my house.
Now, we had this last time, and you said it doesn't really, it looks like it would change the flavor of the meal, but not necessarily. So something you can
to me, you know, some people differ in that opinion, but I don't think that it adds a ton of flavor, so I think you can use it, you know, on even with the pickiest of eaters, even young children, and you know, the color, it's just full.
They're getting all the good stuff.
All the good stuff, yeah, but it's not too pungent of a flavor. Okay. So then we're going to take our shiitake mushrooms, and they are raw at this stage, and we're just going to pile them on there. And you could play around at this stage if you wanted to add, if you've got a favorite Black olives, if you love those, or whatever you want to top on here. Now, of course, the shiitake mushrooms are best
very important. Yep.
Yeah, for creating the environment in your body that cancer does not want to stick around. Okay. All right, and then lemon juice, of course, makes everything so much better. We're going to put a little bit of that on top. I am also a very big fan of Celtic sea salt. Okay. This has the mineral content that our bodies need. This is actually a healthy salt. Our bodies do have to have some salt, or we would not live. Yeah. But you don't want the straight sodium, so this is the good stuff. So I will use this on almost everything, and a little crushed black pepper.
And all of this stuff that you can find at New Life Natural Foods.
Absolutely.
So if you're interested in buying this to put into your meals, you can find it at New Life Natural Foods.
Yep. Right? So how easy was that? And now we're just going to go into the oven, 425 degrees. 12 to 15 minutes. Filet this size, I'd probably do 15 minutes.
Well, there you go. Like I said, everything can be found at New Life Natural Foods. And when we come back, we're going to finish off the meal, but also we visit with all of our special guests going to be talking to us about breast cancer awareness. We'll be right back. What's the second part of the meal, correct?
Okay, so the salmon's in the oven, right? Okay. Now what we are going to make is gingered broccoli with Brussels sprouts. Okay. So tasty, and you'll see there's not that much to it. Okay. So we're allowing the nutrients and of the cruciferous vegetable, the broccoli, to really shine, and we're not going to saturate it with other things. Okay. So all we've done so far is we have organic olive oil in our saute pan. I've added a little bit of Celtic sea salt to the oil to kind of season the oil. That's what I like to do before I add the veggies. Then I've got the broccoli and Brussels sprouts in there. Right. And once we think that they're getting a little bit of a char, I'm going to add the ginger then. You know how, like with garlic, you don't ever want to burn it? Because then you have to throw the whole pan away. Okay. Same goes for ginger, at least for me. So I do ginger at the end.
So don't put it in first.
I don't, because every time I do, I burn it. So, you know, and ginger is another just amazing, amazing root vegetable that's just so good for anti-cancer properties. And we could have a little fun now too. We could add a little bit of ground flaxseed right in there. Flaxseed has a really nutty flavor. Okay. So it goes really well with a lot of dishes. That's you know, you can put them in cookies, you know, oatmeal, things like that. And so something that is amazing, but doesn't necessarily change the it can be an additive, the flavor. Exactly. Okay. Yep. So we're just going to toss those around a little bit, and then while those are finishing up, we have made. There's just a little simple salad, and again, you know, we've talked about color. Color is really important. You want a rainbow of colors on your plate when you're looking for these anti-cancer properties in your food. And a really good, quick, easy salad dressing is about equal portions of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Get an organic lemon and put the juice in. Do about equal portions of Bragg's. It's got to be the Bragg's apple cider vinegar. It's the one with the mother. That's the cloudy. You know, on the bottom, and flaxseed oil. Yes, flax. Do a little bit of research, and you will see that one of the first foods that come up for anti-cancer, or just for making your body in the healthiest state possible, is flax seeds and flaxseed oil.
And what's great about this, I mean, people, complain about eating healthier, it doesn't taste that great, but all these meals that you're putting together are so tasty.
It satisfies your palate. When you're done eating, you're done. You feel that that sense of satisfaction in your mouth and in your taste buds, and
that's something different.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it. And then we'll have our salmon, and we're good to go.
Okay, so Brussels sprouts and broccoli. Yep. Your salad and salmon.
Absolutely.
Right now?
Yep.
Sorry.
Thank you. Caught it. I mean, broccoli's definitely one of the best. So, for the purposes of this, broccoli is great. But if you wanted to add, another one of your favorite veggies here, carrots or beets or onions, that same process works. Absolutely.
Well, there you go. The meal looks tasty. You guys ready to try it a little bit later? I'm sure you can't wait. All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to speak to a couple of other friends that we have coming on to talk to us about breast cancer awareness, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We have a healthy fast food restaurant? That's right, DeChico's Peri-Peri Cafe. We have grilled chicken sandwiches, paninis, salads, soup, juices, smoothies, and more. So come see us inside of New Life Natural Foods. It's so good, you'll forget it's healthy.
We're here with Gail Pendergrass, nurse and life coach. Gail, talk to us about breast cancer prevention.
Thank you, Heather. Prevention is so important and not talked about very much. What's on your plate really does matter. My husband's written a book on breast cancer prevention, looking particularly at diet. And we know that it could, if we change our diet, prevent 73,000 cases of breast cancer per year.
That is really empowering information. To find out more about this book, about Dr. Pendergrass, and about breast cancer prevention, go to newlifeaugusta.com/food for thought.
Food for Thought is brought to you by New Life Natural Foods, DeChico's Peri-Peri Cafe, Fleet Feet Sports, Anytime Fitness, and Phoenix Printing.
Welcome back to The Dish. Now we're in the kitchen once again, and I'm joined by a new special guest, Miss Gail Pendergrass. She is a life and health coach, and of course, Heather DeChico from New Life Natural Foods. Now, you guys both have brought, or you brought to the table some very important information. Gail is about to. Now, you put together a tasty meal for us. It's a very good cancer fighter, I'd like to say it like at the beginning. But Gail, talk to us a little bit about how important it is to eat this way.
Absolutely. And I think if you're looking at it visually, isn't it appealing?
Yes.
The color, the fact that if you notice on the plate, what's mostly there is fruits and vegetables. Some berries, these cruciferous vegetables, and then Heather took that yummy piece of salmon, which I heard her mention, wild-caught salmon, not farm-raised, and she added those things like some turmeric and the shiitake mushrooms. So all these things here, and one of the things I think that scares us when we start talking about eating healthy is it's not going to taste good, or it's going to be boring. And I think this is anything but boring. I mean, she has really made an incredible meal for us. And what my encouragement to all of us would be is that even if this seems a little foreign, is to begin to take those baby steps. Anybody can do something with their diet. And I think the hope is, what I leave you with today is that 20 years ago, I went and had a biopsy done and asked the radiologist afterwards, and it was benign, thankfully, but I asked the radiologist afterwards, well, what can I do? And this was in another state, but her response to me was, there's nothing. Just do those monthly exams and get your mammograms. And I left feeling totally powerless. Wow. And so to think that diet can make a difference, I think is very empowering for us.
And to be proactive, really, to take your own steps. And like I said, I mean, you know your own body better than, you know, maybe a doctor may even know. But, and again, choosing foods that are going to be helpful in preventing. And also, you mentioned something when we're in the break talking, not only preventing, but preventing reoccurrence from happening. Is that correct?
That's correct. And actually, this book that was written by my husband, who practices integrative holistic care, which was very well researched. I can testify all the long nights for 2 years that he put into this, but there is a whole section in the book for people who already have breast cancer. So it's really important, if you've had it once, you certainly don't want to have a reoccurrence. So to arm yourself, do all the treatments, but arm yourself with some other powerful ammunition to preventing a recurrence.
Now, speaking of ammunition,
at New Life, whenever someone asks, you know, do you know a doctor, or who should we go and see? And of course, they're in the health food store because they're looking for somewhat a little, you know, of the nutritional avenue rather than, say, prescriptions. Anyway, what I will always do is always recommend Dr. Pendergrass, Gail's husband. He works as a pediatrician at GRU and has the holistic that she was just referring to. So he knows both sides. And the truth is, I believe it takes both. It's not just one or the other. But, you know, sometimes you do need a little bit of both. But you can certainly help by making your diet proactively to be a fight, so you never need the other.
Well, really doing as much as you can, not just taking one side or the other, but really doing as much as you can to be proactive. And now you gave mentioned 3 tips about women and what they can do to prevent cancer.
Well, one of the things that, as I was discussing this with him, and you'll read this in the book, is that there are 3 things we know for certain. The evidence is very clear that are really important to do, and some of us are past breastfeeding, but the 3 things are: breastfeed your babies for prevention, keep your ideal body weight. If you're not there, get there and stay there. That is clearly related to breast cancer. And thirdly, alcohol. Decrease your alcohol consumption, limit it to 1 a day at the most, and if you're not a drinker, don't begin. So those 3 things, and then these things that Heather has done is powerful. You know, there's a lot of information in the book about everything from adding the fruits and berries to how you cook your meat. Cooking meat at high temperatures can make a huge difference. So, you know, I just encourage people, get a copy of the book. because it really can make a difference. And if you just do a little bit every day, add that broccoli once a week, add the fresh salmon, you know, play around with flax seeds. That seems a little more out there, I know. But those things are very powerful.
There you go. And if you have any information about where you can get this book, you can go to thedishon6.com or also visit New Life Natural.
And newlifeaugusta.com. We'll have something on there
as well,
that lets you be able to find Gail and Dr. Pendergrass as well.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you to all of our other guests that were here to share some awareness for us about breast cancer. So thank you so much. Be sure to tune in next Friday. We'll see